Hello investors, I'm coming to you on my vacation from Branson, Missouri, and just enjoying the day, and was able to trade stocks throughout the day on my vacation, which was actually kind of fun. You know, I was a little worried when the market opened this morning that we were going to have a rough day, and wow, it really turned around. It really did great. I'm really excited about my 5% return that I had for the day, and hopefully you all had great returns also. That's of course my hope of this channel, is that I help you to become a better investor, and that I can be there for you with any questions that you might have. So today, if you were following along on Stocktwits, I did kind of a lot of selling, and I did a lot of different stuff because of this morning. I was a little concerned about the market being down. I really went on a selling spree. I sold Kirk for a 21% gain. I sold GPS for a 1% gain. I sold CWH for a 1% gain, which I regret because that one really turned around and made 10% today, and I wish I would have kept on to it, but oh well. Sold TXMD, unfortunately had a 5% loss on that, but my concern with it is that we were getting too far away from the insider activity. It was really time to move on. Sold UAA. I still think the stock is really going to go. I think it should hit $15 a share, but I sold it today just because of other opportunities and different things I wanted to take advantage of. I sold that for a 5% loss. Really went all out. I sold EXDX today. I got a 8% gain out of that. I thought that was good enough. Although this evening I saw there was more insider buying on it by Jack Schuler, so even more insider activity. But I became uncomfortable with that one just because there is a lawsuit from shareholders pending on that. And I tend to not like those. That tends to keep the stock price stagnant. This morning, just trading along and doing different things, and I'm sending out different messages, and I realized today that there are a lot of people out there that follow me and also that subscribe maybe on this channel that are new investors. And there are a lot of easy tips that I can give you right off the get-go that will really help you to make more money, especially help you buy better and sell better. Now, if you've been investing for a long time, this is going to seem elementary to you. You already know this, but this is a great thing. One thing I would say is I learned early on never to do market orders. Don't do market buys, don't do market sells. Only use market buys and sells in an extreme, utter emergency. The only time I would ever use it is, let's say, and this happened about a month ago, the company SRNE, Sorrento Therapeutics, came out and said, we have the cure for... Okay, so I wanted to get into that stock as quickly as possible. Whether it was true or not, I had a feeling also with insider activity that sucker was going to move. I wanted to get in it early, and so I did a market buy. I usually don't do that. That's really, really, really rare. But they said they had the cure for... That's a rare kind of statement. So that's the only time you ever want to do that. You never want to get in the habit of just using market buys and market sells. The reason being is because if you do a market sell right at market open, there will be many investors, smart investors, who are going to pick up your shares for way too cheap. And so you don't want to do that. Always limit buy, limit sell. Always. Whether it's pre-market, regular market, aftermarket, limit buys and limit sells. And someone also asked me today, which brokers do you use? I use Schwab. I really like Schwab. The advantages of Schwab is that you always seem to get a better price. So when you do a limit buy, they'll negotiate a better deal. Like I'll put a limit buy to buy a stock at $2 a share. A lot of times I'll get it for $1.95. It just seems to be that way. It just, as an average, I find they fill the orders the best. I used to have Robinhood. I do not recommend Robinhood. They had some glitches that were really upsetting. There are some things that are really nice about Robinhood. If you have Robinhood and you sell a stock, that money's available right away. There's no waiting, there's no 2-day period. It's just bam, 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 so you can turn your money very quickly. But the pre-market is really limited. The aftermarket's really limited. They are pretty good at filling orders. I'm pretty happy with that. But with their glitches and all their problems, I think that Webull is a much better broker if you're dealing with that type of money. The reason why Webull is so great, and I love it, is because, and this is Central Time, from 3 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. at night, I can trade. I can buy, I can sell. I really like Webull. And so if you are looking for that, please see in the description down below. We have a link for that if you want to get a free stock. That is a great way to do so. So anyway, so there's that. Limit orders. I got asked about stop losses today. And the reason why I don't like stop losses is because a savvy investor who has a lot of money will take advantage of this. So if you have a stop loss open, they will flood the market with shares. They'll sell all their shares, and then they'll wait until there's no available shares. They'll be the only available buy, and then buy up shares from that point. And so then they get the stock for a lower price and kind of take your shares away from you. And so I don't like that, because one stop loss triggers another stop loss, triggers another stop loss. And you might think, but Ray, what if the stock price really drops? Well, that's why I choose stocks with insider activity or that have an FDA decision coming up. I choose those types because those stocks rarely have gigantic drops, especially insiders. They are a lot more stable on the bottom end. I just wanted to kind of cover that, and then I'm going to go into my list just right away. So try to keep this short and sweet. Now, I sold so many stocks that there's a lot of new ones on this list. Saw some opportunity to make some money, and that's what we did. So I was a little worried about what was going to happen in the market. I'm going to start with number 7. Number 7 is a brand new insider. It happened this evening. It is MBIO. Mustang Bio. So they had a $500,000 insider by the CEO. This was done in open market, and I like this company. I've owned it a couple of times, and it tends to react well to insider activity. So that is brand new. That just happened. So I would jump on that. That is a great stock to own, and I think it's really going to do great. And so that was the reasoning behind getting MBIO, is because when I see insider activity with them, I like to get into it because I've done very well with it in the past. All right, number 6, ALT. ALT had an $11.3 million insider by a 10% owner. It's just such a nice big chunk and a nice big size. It was a retail price. I double, triple checked, looked through it, retail price. It's so big. Also, being in the times that we are, I think that alt is going to be a perfect insider setup for the next 3 days, I would say at least. So I was excited about that, to see that, and I think it's going to do very well. All right, number 5, ANIX. This was on the list on Friday. It continues to be on the list. Had insider activity by the CEO. It hasn't had any new insider activity by the CEO, but very good. I'm just holding it. Got a nice return on it so far, but I'm thinking there's more to come. It had a fantastic day on Friday. Today it was down a little bit, but being that the market wasn't really that great and it had such a run up on Friday, I was okay with that. It wasn't that big a deal, just 2% down. So I think ANIX is going to do well. All right, TTOO is number 4. I love this stock. I'm planning on holding it. NASDAQ compliance is expected tomorrow. I expect that once that is announced that we will see a big run up. TTOO is a favorite on my list. I like it for FDA approval, for like an emergency FDA approval for their sepsis test that they have. Number 3, EPZM. EPZM was not even on this list, was just kind of an honorable mention on Friday, but today had a significant run up of 10%, and I don't think it's done, so I'm expecting more out of that. It has a PDUFA date of 6/18, so that is coming right up. That is on Thursday. I do not like to hold through FDA compliance. I think I've said that many times on this channel, and I don't think you should either, because the stock becomes very unstable after that point. Go way up and you could see a massive drop. EPZM is my number 3 pick, and I think it will continue to do well. Number 2, I've had a love-hate relationship with this stock. I love it right now because it is doing fantastic and really turning around. NBRV. I've been preaching NBRV is worth $2.50 for a week and a half now. It is now finally over 90 cents. For most of us, that is a really nice profit, especially from the first time that I mentioned it. Hoping for great things. They have PDUFA date of Friday, and there has been no announced delays. There's been some concern about a delay on this stock, but nothing's been announced, and it's getting kind of late, and it's starting to run up. So I feel really good about it. They have more than one drug in the pipeline that I'm excited about. And number 1, EVOK, EVOK. It is number 1 because it deserves to be number 1, and it is really surging right now. It had a fantastic day today again. It had a fantastic day on Friday, so we're really starting to see a really nice run up. This has a PDUFA date of 6/19 coming up. Again, probably not going to hold through FDA approval. This is a good stock for the run up, and it continues to go up. Okay, so we have a couple that aren't on the list that you're probably asking, Ray, why isn't this on the list? You've been talking about these on Stocktwits. Well, let me go ahead and just talk about them. First is IZEA. IZEA had insider activity twice today, both in open market. They were both a smaller amount, but I still feel very confident that this stock is going to really take a ride upwards. IZEA is another stock that's going to need NASDAQ compliance. As it continues to be over $1, I think that's a good thing for the stock. I still believe in it, still own it, just not on the top 7. I own more than 7 stocks, and it's hard to get on here, and I like to own all of these that I recommend. And the other one is CHMA. CHMA is a brand new call out that I made today. This is a PDUFA run-up that has just started. So this is what I feel is the ground floor. So I was able to get in it today at a good price. I feel really good about it. I'm already up in it. And it has a PDUFA date of June 26th. And you can find a copy of all this in the descriptions down below. And also, I put a lot of work into this. One thing that you can do for me is if you can hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. That really helps my channel out a lot. And if you could subscribe, it helps me out also. And then set up bell notifications so that you don't miss out on the reasoning of any of these top picks. Anyway, I hope you all had a fantastic day and that we all have a fantastic week. Make lots of money and have a good time and all that kind of good stuff. Raythoven signing off.